TSM sniped down BCJ, G Dolphin. This is the team I really want to focus on for off the start. As they start the party
here we go, Rain.
Voyage. Let's just get it going here.
This is what we came for, and it's the party at the Mirage Voyage, and it's always a good time.
This is what we came for? I mean, I was going with the song. We can go ahead and get a freestyle in if you want, bro. But
you know what I love? I've seen it actually even in late game. There's teams that will continue to hit the Mirage Voyage party, and it kind of goes both ways. It creates total chaos around the map, as you just heard, but also the team that's starting the party. Speaking of starting parties, Nighthawk is already down. Mopork's in trouble as well. Whoa!
Wow.
That is going to be the side of MSK already out, eliminated off the break.
And Team Smile, they're smiling all about that. MSK was number 10 with 14 points, and Smile, they were just trying to get involved with 8, so that's already 3 points for them. They're already closing the gap, and then some, taking out a competitor who was in front of them in the leaderboards.
I mean, that's Apex Legends, folks. You can go from a full-on dance party to a squad wipe in seconds.
That is truly tragedy.
It is.
I mean, Shakespeare would be proud.
And it's a metaphor for a lot of the things that we have to go through.
I mean, that's how life is, right?
That's true. Absolutely. Now check it back in with the RCO side. It's going to be Gabe, Xenial, and Hill. You heard a lot of talk about these guys from the analyst desk, and for good reason. They're looking pretty good as they're looking to have a great performance in game number 4, game number 5, climb into one of those top 5 spots.
Number 5 in 26 points to their name. But a very strong performance across the day, and this is what I like. It's consistency. They haven't had any of those huge games like we saw last round from Sniper Abusers, but they've been good, and that's what you need from a team who is going to qualify for an event like this. You don't have to put your best game out right now, but you do have to do the right things at the right time and play situations as varied and crazy as they can be in play Apex in the smartest way possible. And you can see that Gabe Is Money is on a mission, not only to prove his old team wrong, but to prove this new team has a lot of future great moments for them happening in Apex.
Absolutely. And speaking of proving points, you actually have Stinky here, who once again led their semifinal by quite a margin over Rogue, TSM, and the Golden Guardians. However, I believe only 7 points to their name at this stage, which is unfortunate for them. And I think if they want to have a lot more confidence going into that March Major, they need to make sure that they make games 4 and 5 count.
Yeah, and I think that's the big question. If you do have these issues going on after you come off a high, right? You do it great the first time, and they're like, all right, cool. Now we're going to actually record it. Yep. And then you have to say, what, you know, how did I do it? What was happening? They did this great thing, but now it's when it counts, and they're not stepping up to what was a 42-point first-place finish in the earlier round. So we'll hope to see and follow along with Moonman, Kubski, Hierarchy. I know Hierarchy actually got picked off pretty early around this time last game, so it might have just been some bad rotations and some bad luck. I expect to see them bounce back here.
You see pings already on Train from the Sentinels side, likely looking for a train yard finish. They're on their normal rotation and timing once again through drill towards the high ground. Looks like they might, instead of going to high ground, which we often see, they might actually go towards Mine Pass, which will give them a fast route into Train.
Yeah.
Potentially a vault key in hand as well.
And that is one of the things we have to consider. Vaults have not played a big impact in these pro games, but they could.
Yes.
And they absolutely could as far as not only getting stuff from the vault, but baiting things from a vault. If you see that somebody knocks down one of those drones that have a vault key in it, you might just hide in the cavern and wait for them to show up and honestly just deny. Or when they go in, then try to kill them and take all their stuff.
Absolutely. The vault's adding some interesting twisted gameplay, but speaking of, shots coming in on Senox right away, forced to retreat and also forced to pop a battery as they do start to flank around towards Mine Pass. Once again, we saw the pings on Train. They're likely going to try to get through Mine Pass as fast as they can. They could potentially hold up in the Mine Pass, but more often than not, you're going to want to get up and into Train as fast as you can.
Absolutely, and if you can see Abraleli and TSM, they've already kind of done exactly that, rotated as quickly as possible, and they're setting up for their teammates. Now, you're going to see a lot of people actually drop equipment, and it's going to look weird for an Apex player because you're saying, that's my gun, why would I drop it? They're holding it for their teammates. Sometimes teams will actually pick up a gun they're not going to use, fully equip it, just to drop it for the player on that team who either runs the scout or runs the PK, and they'll swap with a wingman that maybe they were picking up for them. So these are the little things you see in competitive to be more efficient in your looting patterns that you don't normally see in your games.
You're also going to see players do that not only with weapons, but also armor, of course, to provide armor swaps.
Yep.
And if you caught any of Timmy's games yesterday on the Golden Golden Guardians. Also some really great stuff when they were holding top tower, where he was like, throw the junk loot off. Do not allow an energy mag to screw up you getting an armor swap.
Absolutely.
So they actually one by one take each piece of loot they don't need, throw it off of the edge, right? Really clean looting there from them. Speaking of, here we are now on board with the side of Timmy, P-Footer, and Bronzy on Golden Guardians. They will pick up that kill right there on screen. That's going to be FVK that goes down. 18 squads left.
Yeah, FVK not doing so hot right now. They've only got 1 point to their name. I mean, that's, again, going to be them out of the tournament. It's going to be very, very hard to see them getting top 5 here. So they're going to have to step things up for Arlington, Texas if they do want a different result. But Timmy and Bronzy, they've been in the thick of things, but they seem to always have one of their members, whether it's P-Fitter or whether it is Bronzy, down and out for the count in these crucial situations.
Also love Timmy's movement, the way he is able to hit those grapples, really send himself into great positions as well as get himself out of jail so often. Now we're looking here at Slurpee, though. Not the best performances so far from him. He's on the side of Griefers, as they're going to look to put up some great numbers in games 4 and 5.
This is the team I think last time actually was giving them problems. And I think you could see Timmy just saying, I'm going to do it again. The grapple instantly into the shield swap. And a nice syringe. She's going to get nearly back to full. Remember, he's got the golden helmet. What does that mean? It means that his Pathfinder grapples are going to come up faster, and his ultimate as well. All ability cooldowns will be reduced by about 30% with that golden helmet, and he's using it to the best of his ability. If he sees go, and he might see it here if he sees a shield crack, he can grapple forward and try to complete that kill, but he's going to go for the res instead.
Perfect little nook on this rock crevice. Very lucky spacing there. The fact they're able to get that res off, you know, P-Fitter's going to go ahead and heal up, and they will live to fight another day.
Smart stuff, and I love the way that sometimes you can't win a fight, but you can delay it, and that's what Timmy's doing. He just wants to do damage. He doesn't want to push in unless he sees it's absolute green light, no problem. In the bubble sometimes says it, 99 to the dome, Rob, and it looks like things are heating up.
And look at this, he has help as well. The whole team is there. That is going to be it. Yes, indeed, they do make the push there on Slurpee G, and they will get that final kill against that Griefer side. Now, taking a moment to breathe, they'll have a chance to loot up once again and heal up. And now we're looking at the side of Team Squidward. Once again, Nathan, Lou, and Rocker. These guys got 4th and 6th place at GLL, and they're looking to continue that momentum here in our opening event of the Apex Legends Global Series.
And playing with Frex, who's now on NRG. We know that we see Lou, who used to play with Monsoon, who is on that Complexity team that replaced Gabe his money. So there's a lot of kind of inter-family kind of situations going on here, but big scout play.
Jeez, look at that. Rocker just lining up those scout shots perfectly.
Ooh,
Nathan and Lou, look at Nathan and Lou flying in immediately. They're going to go ahead and try to pick up these 2 extra kills as well. That first kill does come in, and now looking for those last players.
Give me that purple, he says. Just hits the headshot, and the scout cleans it up. But you could see when he dropped 1, this is the decisiveness that these teams have. You know that you have a 3-man team, and if you drop 1, they've got 2 at max. So why not press the advantage? I mean, you're never going to get a better one, and especially if you hit a white shield, you know, okay, they're not geared up, they're not ready to fight. Let's go ahead and seal the deal.
And that's what I love about that. Once Rocker got that first down, Lou and Nathan are already on the ground, right? They are ready to fly in and pick up those kills. They're making it look way too easy, and now also picking up that kill on Overpowered as well. Now checking in here with Team Stinky. Once again, as we said, a team with only 7 points, pretty far down in the table. They will need great games 4 and 5 to change that story.
And that was a big deal, actually, taking down PRO, which was actually a top 6 team with 20 points. And they've been doing so well. They had that great game versus TSM and, of course, Sniper Abusers as well in that final circle. But it does seem like it is going to be their end for Game 4. And so that's going to be another position in the top 10 that people can move ahead of. So Moonman TV, Hierarchy, Kubski having a much better show of it. Already in top 15. They've earned themselves a point, trying to get to the top 10.
And Rain, it's a pretty similar end circle right now in terms of where we are with this round 2 close. We're once again in Hill Valley, so you're not going to see too much dissimilar gameplay for these next few minutes.
You're absolutely right. And this is really power position right here, because any rotations coming behind you, you can secure no one is going to be on your flank. And that's one of those things that just gives you confidence and peace of mind. And sometimes in moments like this where you have 2 teams on your left and right, you do not need a team behind you. And so just holding that down with the Watson fences, it's an important thing. It will take some time, but as this ring closes, they will be in a good position, as well as P-Fitter and Bronzy and Timmy, who they had some heroics to survive. Timmy really the leader in that situation.
I mean, yeah, amazing stuff here from Timmy that we saw. Great great movement to keep his team in the game. And also now in 14 seconds, we're going to find out where this is going to pull. You have to think it could be something like Capital City Southwest.
It could be.
Along those cliffs, maybe along the tunnel. You also have to bet that there's a team already that's going to have tunnel at this stage in the game. We're going to have to see if that's the case, but it's going to be the Aqualix side who's actually top of Hill Valley Tower.
And this is not a bad spot to be, but you could see it is not going to end where it did before near drill side. It seems like it could be pulling towards the southern edge of Train Yard, Mine Pass, or even on the other side near Hot Springs. And so this is something they're definitely aware of, and they know this is not safe for long. A minute and 58 to rotate. They're going to do just that here as some charge rifle shots start to wail in the distance, trying to pick them off.
And they're also going to have to look at some serious chokes coming up, because this massive rock that is in the center of this ring right now, if you think of it, it's to the east of the train yard, it's to the southwest of Capital City. This is one of the largest pieces of cliffside in the game. You have very, very long routes around. You need to go through Mine Pass or tunnel or that central choke from Fuel to Capital City to get to this part of the map at all. That's why you see a team right here like Stinky who's trying to make that route as fast as they possibly can.
And Stinky really having something to prove here. First place, as we mentioned, in the group of TSM, in Rogue, and Fire when they were qualifying into this finals, and they're looking to show the world why they deserve to be in that position. Still 14 squads left, though, Brav, and really the only thing that missing from this, Mooman, purple shield, but only a level 1 extended mag on the wingman, and so that is going to hurt if you get into a duel with someone who's got a level 3.
Here's a TP coming out from Kubsky. We'll have to see exactly where he throws that. He actually throws it towards the train yard side, so that means that teams are betting on this pulling closer to train and Mine Pass on the western side of the tunnel and not the eastern Cap City side. We'll have to see if that bet pays off.
And you look at this, the charge rifle right now, we've seen it more and more in these games than we have in what feels like half a season, because the nerfs really sent it into a different position of priority for all of these pros. What a thermite there, though. He should clean it up. He's got the hit scan as well. 29-5. Gets away.
That path is so low. I cannot imagine what the actual HP count is there. Almost certainly below 10. Half. But still now with that charge rifle in hand, like you said, with that big scope. And a few extra kills coming in. And also some scout fire popping across as well.
This is a good spot for RCO White. I mean, they're in a great position on the leaderboards. This is putting them in a great top 5 spot, but they're going to Wraith Portal out of here. They realize that they are no longer going to be in zone, but they're going to try to do it as safely as possible. The invulnerability of this portal and just the timing, still trying to take high ground, but this is in the middle of things, so he's going to go low ground again, saying, I don't know about that one. That could be a little risky.
It's a much safer decision there, is that, of course, that upper train car going to be much more visible, have a lot more sight lines into it compared to that bottom route. In 30 seconds, we're going to see exactly where this close ends. Some shots here, though, from Sick coming in. That's going to be Sorcerer with the PK that gets that first kill. Mooman will go down.
And this is bad because Stinky need these points here. They have to try to prove this, but Hierarchy's too big of a body, and he falls as well to Onmu, and this is not looking good. I believe that's Vol who cleaned it up, and look at this. It's TSM who clean up everybody else as well.
The TSM with a big push there. They know they are not going to be happy with anything less than a first-place finish here in online tournament number 1. Like we said, they are the back-to-back champions at the past 3 major tournaments.
Oh, and this zone is starting to hurt because people have to play the very edge and get up. And this is a great spot for RCO White. The only issue, Zenial trying to deny any opportunity for people to shoot at him right now as he's healing up. That generator giving him a shield cell and then some as he gets his 100 health back and wastes about 3 syringes. Not waste, uses.
And here we go. This is what I was wondering. What is happening on the southwest side of Cap City? And we are getting that question answered for us right now. And it's a whole bunch of Gibby ults and domes are down. Now looking at the Smile side, still Unin and Flower still trying to fight through this. Several squads still on this Capital City side. Anyone that bet a bit wrong on this hill, absolute chaos on the southern cliffs of Capital City. Those teams will go down. That was going to mainly be Smile that was on the receiving end of those blows. And finally, we find out who was in the tunnel. It's the Fire side. You can bet that they've had this locked down for quite some time.
Oh, yeah. And I think that was actually Nathan who comes out on top of that one. So we'll have to wait and see if he is still alive and that squad is moving forward. But, yeah, Fire holding this choke really nicely. And this is such a power position, Brock, because anybody trying to come in from that entirety of that western space is going to be in trouble. And they have access to train yard to poke and move. This is going to be at least 2 circles potentially that they are safe. And so this is really, with the Watson fences, a very hard position to lose.
No, absolutely, and they are going to be able to gatekeep both sides of this in 36 seconds. We'll see exactly where things are going to go next as well. We do see some arcs being traded, though, so potentially some arc plays being set up from Timmy and P-Fitter here Not only are they really talented in the way that they set up their arc plays, but also some great communication during open where they talk about getting into scenarios where they can't be arced. For example, never sitting 3 on a tower, making sure that they are not open to the arc plays that they themselves could be setting up in a few moments.
Very similar to what we've seen in a lot of metas past in Apex Legends with his Watson bunkering, but it's a little bit more freeform, a little bit more freestyle. Season 3 and World's Edge has allowed that for us, and now this is a great spot for a Thermite. You can trap them in. Hopefully they're going to hit them because there is no Watson pylon there yet. It's just a little too far. Grenades landing in awkward positions, and it's just not enough. The pylon destroying attacks on them, though, and Fire are in a good spot, just can't land their own nades.
It's a great spot for their ult. You already saw it's already intercepted 4 now, and they might make the push as soon as some damage ticks come in, but we're not seeing anything just yet. They do need to make sure that they gatekeep from this side. They're probably safe from the west, and it's actually going to be Nathan, Rocker, and Lou of Team Squidward who are trying to make this push into the TP, and now they're going to fight from the pills.
Yeah, and Rocker and Nathan, they know what they need to do here. They have to fight, and they've actually put themselves in a decent position to contest. The problem is this range is better for them because you notice Fire aren't pushing, and they don't have a lot of long range. They want them to come close, but Nathan and the rest of FlyQ and Rocker and Team Squidward are actually having a hell of a time playing at this.
Great shots here coming out of Nathan. Now let's see if they can get the first. Yes, that's going to be 2 down. Can they find the third? They get the wipe! The push in from the east on Fire. Executed beautifully as they push through. They will overtake them in tunnel.
And look at Lou with just a sliver of health, makes it out. The man who lived to tell the tale. And what a movement there. Nathan with the portal, and you go into the void at the perfect time. Sentinels here, though, still in dire, stressful situations, trying to make it out. It's just Retzi. 105, though. That might do it, and it's Sentinels who cleans it up. Synox able to do the deal, but they're not done yet.
Let's see if they can pick this last one. This would be an absolutely huge kill. They've already bitten off way more than they could chew initially if they can pick up this last kill. Out comes the 99, and it's another kill from Retzi. They get out of an impossible situation. They stay in the game and potentially set themselves up to finish at the top of the table by the end of the day. How many times do we see it with Sentinel's reign? They're in the worst set of circumstances, and they come back from the death there. Retzi now on gold armor, Synox on purple. Zombs has been taken down, but they will have to fight a few 2v3s if they want to become victorious.
No respawn beacons either, and so this is just a 2v3 like you mentioned. No way to get that third player back, although one of the beautiful parts of Apex is the ability to do that in most of your games. On move, Vayne and Lion here. One of the up-and-coming teams, I think, as far as showing their stuff in these qualifiers today, and so far showing the stuff that you want to see, especially if you're going to Arlington. A late portal, but it seems like it could be right on time. Throw him in the thick of things. Almost cleans it up with Eva, but gets arc-starred. Might be in trouble here.
This is very dangerous. He'll go down as well.
Someone has a gold.
I was going to say, that's probably going to be, we'll see exactly who has that. There it is. Gold knockdown is out. Could be the end for them in just a moment. 7 squads still left in this game. Somehow Sentinels, as we said, still in this match as well. Might pick up another one. Retzi shills all the way down. Has to fast bat.
And he's going to get it. He's got gold armor. This is huge. That might be TSM he's fighting as well. Who is this? Blue gets knocked. This is Reps. TSM on the other side. Reps going to go down. He takes high ground as well. Sentinel's not pushing. He's just got 1. So it's 3 of TSM, 1 Sentinel. There are 3 other squads as well as the Watson interception pylon comes up for the passive gen.
Very well timed there from Reps. Great shots with the wing as well. And somehow they time it perfectly where the pressure comes late from up top and they fight through here. Now 4 squads left. He goes down. Only Hal is left.
That Sentinel's going up against TSM. They say, you think you're the best? We're going to try and prove it ourselves. Retzi is alive. Synox is alive. He's got a shield bat. He's got the gold armor, and he gets it off.
Oh my goodness, somehow staying alive. Has to get another heal off. Let's see if he can get another cell or bat. Maybe a few cells here to get his shield all the way back up. 3 squads left here. Sentinels and TSM still fighting.
Sentinels game to lose because Rocker is up top. So is Nathan as well. They're pressuring TSM. TSM can't get out of there. They've lost the high ground. They're going to push now, and you can see it's almost one shot and done, but it's not. It does give Sentinels a chance. It's really who's at the mercy of this Team Squidward because they have full control of this.
Team Squidward going to play this very patiently. They'll push the aggression if it opens up, but only if it is the advantageous position now.
Oh, they got it.
Aberlele who goes down now. Still 3 squads left. They have to get this finish, and that will be TSM out once they finish this gold res. Yes, indeed. TSM now out. Is going to be Sentinels versus Team Squidward, who has the high ground.
And that's all you need. The high ground is so important, and they're just going to wait this one out for a little bit as well because you may not be able to see Sentinels be able to get up there? I mean, they have to run into the zone or take the boxes. They don't have time to do it. I don't know if they're going to even be able to get up top.
Here's the arc. They're going to send in Nathan. Let's see if Nathan gets any damage. They're going to drop all the way down. Senox goes down. Red Sea goes down as well. Where is the last player? Let's see if they can get this last one here as they try to find exactly where Zoms might be hiding. Looks like they do it. And yes, indeed, Team Squidward takes game number 4.
What a performance. It's Squidward on top of the world. I mean, I've watched a lot of SpongeBob in my day. Squidward doesn't often get this type of elation.
Squidward's never looked so good.
He's never looked so dang good. I mean, this man went in. He's got a little makeover. But no, honestly, what a performance from them and what positioning as well. And it all started with taking the tunnels from Fire in that crazy fight and risking it all. I mean, Lou, he had health like this.
Yep.
But they ended up making it out, and that puts him in a position to win this entire game.
And keep in mind, they had to make that push. That Watson ult that Fire had up was in the perfect spot. They had to land. Really, it came down to some amazing 99 shots from the entire side of the team that was pushing in their Sentinels that they had to push in on them. Amazing work from that side. And then eventually it was, like you said, Rocker, Nathan, and Lou with some great spray from the 99. They push in, and it's a big push. That, like we said, there's a reason that off of the break, when you see that circle develop, there's a reason that every team wants to get to tunnel, and that was a perfect example of why.
It just gives you so much flexibility of how to access low ground and high ground, and that's something that low ground doesn't have for high ground. High ground can always drop down. They didn't have a path, and that was one of the biggest things when you looked at Sentinels. They had lost their path player, and that was the big issue. However, we did see a little bit of a 1v1 between two teams that are some of the best in North America and traditionally represented by these orgs. Have a little bit of a back and forth. Sentinels did get the win from TSM, but would you call it fair? Because, you know, Rocker, Apex, they did force them off the high ground. TSM was looking good until then.
I think the big story there is that TSM and Sentinels are going to have big points from that game, and they're going to be playing a big game number 5. But to get ready for that one and break down the past game, we're going to go back to the Legends Lounge. It's going to be Fallout, Lulu, and Blaze. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Bravo. There is a lot to break down after Game 4. Before we do any of that, though, I have to give credit where credit's due.
Yo, you got to, John, because before that game started off, now, I've seen a lot of circles in my life, but the one that Lulu called out right off the drop, she was like, guys, give me a piece of paper. The circle's going right here in the end, outside train. It may go to tracks. It may be under, but it's going to be right there.
And this is the drawing here. She literally predicted the exact ring at the very beginning of the game, and of course, that's where it ended up. Lulu, are you Nostradamus?
And she actually, and I want to say, we brought out the telestrator, but when she drew it on the paper, it looked exactly like the ending circle. So I was like, that was impressive. Good call out on the start.
I know that zone all too well. I play this game a little bit, but I lost a 1v1 in that exact location, so I'm a little salty about that. It's a burden to my brain.
You're also calling out how each team is going to have to make a bet at which area of the circle it's going to be talking about.
Yeah, it's more likely to pull to that top of the tunnel, right in that little tiny corner, but there's a small percentage that it could pull to the other side, and if you're willing to play that game, it could end really well or really bad. And we saw Sentinels being on the bottom side of that tunnel.
Yeah, and we saw some action in that tunnel as well, John, with Sentinels. I don't know if we actually was able to pull that replay from the tunnel, but Sentinels went off down there, trying to escape in a 1v2 situation. And I will like to say that before the game started, I made a bold prediction on what our top 3 might end up being. And I said that we got 2 of those teams in there, and it was Sentinels and TSM. And this is the play. You're going to see the boy, Retzi. He's going to race up out of there. And now the players pushing down the back end. He takes his teammate banner right away. Peacekeeper out, connects with a shot. His teammate behind him, 1v2 situation at the box, looking for him. R99, the fadeaway, picks up the kill, and they were running for their lives. They knew that they couldn't go too far towards the back end. They would have found themselves in a more difficult position. So they said, you know what, we're going to choose to fight now. And they won it, and they found themselves a top 2 position for winning that fight.
Yeah, that's why you love Apex, because that was literally a classic 2v2 fight, like you saw in Gears, like you see in Counter-Strike Go, like you see in a variety of games. And at the end of the day, Sentinels comes out on top. They clutch up in that 2v2 box fight. Absolutely insane play right there. Of course, Sentinels, you called it last game. You said they're going to have a big game. They go from 9th place to who knows where. We'll, of course, see on the standings when that gets ready. But a 2nd place finish for for them, and they picked up a lot of kills. I know we also got the replay of the end game action as well. The very end game was absolutely insane.
It was crazy.
Because we saw an Arc Star play that was unbelievable. But of course, of Team Squidward, a first place finish for them, a team that I predicted to do big things early on in this one, they step up in a big way. So the leaderboards are going to change things up. Of course, we have Lou, Rocker, and Nathan playing as Pathfinder, Watson, and Wraith, making
Congrats to those guys.
huge plays. And again, an Arc Star play was insane. I hope we have the replay on that one too.
Yeah, and you know, that Arc Star play pretty much being, you know, you had 3 teams at the end. You had Sentinels, TSM, and then you had Squidward. And then Sentinels and TSM, they're battling out towards the end at that bottom train cart, really fighting for inches there because it was a narrow fight for a very long time, but TSM going down, and then you're going to see it.
Here it is.
They're going to stick their teammate Wraith with the Arc Star, and then Wraith goes down there. She's going to queue in. The Arc Star is going to blow up and get the kills. Now, when you stick Wraith with the Arc Star, the pylon's not going to be able to take the nade off her body. So as soon as she queues, at that point, she's going to be invulnerable, and then go out there and make the play.
Yeah, there's absolutely like no, you know, you can't counter this right now, the Arc Star play, and it's huge. You see people using it all the time.
Yeah, it was massive. We were actually questioning, that's the craziest thing. We're sitting there like, why is Team Squidward not third partying? Sentinels is fighting TSM right now.
Yeah, Redzy had no shield. They could have just dropped down, wiped him out. But
and they actually, we thought they were making a horrible play. We thought they were nervous. We thought they were amateurs. Little did we know they had the Arc Star play ready and up their sleeves, and it ended up working out perfectly. With that said, we still have a top 2. Sniper Abusers with Team Snipe down, and TSM tied for first place at 52. Right behind them is Team Squidward. Your boys, Sentinels, Blaze, you called it, and RCO White maintains that 5th place finish. Little Poggies drops for the very first time behind top 5.
Are we considering Sniper Abusers one of those newer teams, Lulu? Because you said we had 2 older teams. We're going to have three new school teams up in there. In the top 5, and that's what it's looking like to start.
I know Snipedown's been playing with them for about a month. A newer team. They made a big gamble by flying out G-Dolphin all the way from Europe to Vegas, and has it paid off? But here's the craziest part. Look at slots 6 through 10. We got Team Fire, a great team that's been boot camping in Austin, Texas with their coach Yogi, who's been helping them out. They are a phenomenal, probably the most prepared team in my eyes. Golden Guardians, who a lot of people predicted to do big, and Rogue right behind Little Poggies. It's going to be a crazy finish here.
Yeah, and one thing about the finish, I'm curious if our team's going to drop on RCO White, you know, knowing that they are on the cusp at number 5. You know, you got, you know, Little Poggers in there and Rogue, 2 teams that I know they're hunting for that 5th place spot. We're going into our last game to qualify in there, and our top 5 is stacked.
Yeah, I'm excited for game 5, that's for sure.
Even if, you know, in this last game, if a team doesn't place well, if they stack up some kills early on, it really could. That could be what it takes to push them over the end.
Yeah, Game 5 is going to be crazy. Game 4 was insane. I don't know how you're going to top Game 4. We'll have to see. But we have some replays in action. Lulu, break it down for me. What do we see there in game number 4 early on? We saw some teams die early and, of course, throughout.
Yeah, we saw a lot of teams rotating to train yard pretty early on. And, the Golden Guardians, they rezzed Bronzy mid-game. And they were able to hold on to the very end. They had some great team fights there.
And they took out the Griefers. Of course, they griefed the Griefers early on. The controller players who came from the PlayStation scene. Big shot at the Griefers.
Of course, more scout plays. I'm seeing that every single game right now.
Yeah. And here's the fight that I think we had a chance to catch the action of. The 2 versus 2 fight. One of them goes down from Sen early, which turns into a 2v2 box fight. And they're stunned from an Arc Star. Somehow manages to clutch up massive plays from Redzy and Sentinels to win this one. You see, they go for the box jump or the wall bounce, and it's a 2v1 in this scenario. So they had an upper hand, they had a slight advantage.
He tried to hit him with a fadeaway. like he went for it in a pressure situation.
And then the Arc Star play. Unbelievable play
Just
come through.
huge. It's, you know, we thought they were playing scared, but they were playing smart.
And they did a great job of that against the Sentinels roster who got some health. They thought they were really receiving a blessing. Instead, they received an Arc Star to the face.
Yes.
Ultimately, it is Team Squidward who does it. Massive performance. They now inch into that top 5. The standings got shaken up like crazy. Lil Poggy's no longer there, despite winning game number 2. You made some bold predictions between games 3 and 4, and both of your predictions actually panned out here, so kudos to both of y'all. Blaze, do you think Sentinels is going to maintain that top 5? And then Lulu, any other predictions on your end? Blaze, I'll start with you.
You know what? I think Sentinels maintain the top 5. I don't think that they win the next game. You know, Sniper Abusers and TSM, they're tied, you know, 44 points apiece, I believe.
52.
52 points apiece. I think they're going to be battling out for the first place, most definitely. One of those two teams are going to win it, but I'm actually going to say that our top 5 stays the same. I don't see it changing. I think a lot of teams have an opportunity to break in, but just based off how the flow of this match has been going so far, the flow of this series has been going, our top 5 is there for a reason, and a lot of these teams may take some risk early on by it being the last qualifier game as they try to break into top 5, but I think the consistency is there.
I wouldn't be surprised if either Poggies or Rogue kick out RCO. That's my prediction.
RCO's
but
been on the fringe for a
also,
while.
TSM never settles for second, so I think they're still going to frag out and
Finish
take
first.
first for this one as well.
Yeah.
2 hot predictions coming from Lulu.
TSM wins it. RCO stays in top 5.
All right, Blaze is calling it. Same top 5, TSM to win it. We will see. Game 5 is ready. It's locked and loaded. We got Bravo and Rain Day to call the action.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Jumping straight into this game number 5 right now. Some fantastic predictions coming out from the couch, Rain, but also a multitude of possibilities for how this top 5 will net out. You and I were looking at it, but also there's a bubble on the top 5, right? There's several teams that could break in there, as we do see the guys here on the Sniper Abusers getting that immediate beacon